Nothing else to do.
You may have thought Princess Di was the royal family's biggest secret, but tonight on ZMT, we dive into the royal family scandals, including how they are hiding millions of their wealth in offshore accounts known as tax havens.
Hey, Katie, what's a tax haven?
You know, that's a really good question, James. Maybe we should do some research.
Yeah. Have you found anything?
Not yet. Hold on. I think I might have found a good website. So this says it's a country or independent area where taxes are levied at a low rate.
That sounds boring. Let's change the channel.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. This just in. Major corporations have been using offshore accounts to avoid paying taxes in the U.S. You, the viewers, might not know what a tax haven is, so we've contacted our resident tax expert to give us the definition.
Katie, what if Google's listening?
Thank you, Dana. According to the IRS, a tax haven is a foreign jurisdiction that imposes little or no tax on income from sources outside their jurisdiction, and also provides financial secrecy laws in an effort to attract investments from outside their borders.
Thank you, Tabitha.
Ugh, this is boring too. Change the channel.
Okay.
Tonight on 59 Minutes, we have a tax expert here to discuss the specifics behind tax havens. Welcome to the show, Caddy.
Thanks for having me, Jim. Where should I begin?
Well, I think our viewers just learned the official IRS definition of a tax haven, so let's dive more in depth.
That sounds good. Naturally, it's hard to narrow down the amount of money the companies have shifted offshore. Our experts have estimated that the total amount is well into the trillions.
That is astronomical. Caddy, why do you think that is?
Well, the tax benefits in the tax havens far surpass those in the United States, so naturally, businesses are looking to shift their income to areas with a lower tax rate. It's simply good planning.
But of course. So how do they go about doing this?
With the banking and commercial security laws from tax haven service providers, entities and individuals are simply able to create paper entities to hide the real parties to transactions, and some are even willing to make false documents to hide the real nature of their transactions.
But where are these tax havens likely to be?
Well, Jim, the most extreme tax haven locations that offer the greatest amount of immunity are typically in emerging nations. However, most assets are usually channeled through havens that have been around for years and have diplomatic protection of former colonial powers.
This all sounds very secretive and honestly, not quite kosher.
Well, you're right, Jim, and for the most part, it has been legal. Congress, however, has enacted several specific provisions of the IRC. Some of these provisions trigger recognition of gains that would otherwise be deferred, while others may deny deferral of tax on income moved offshore.
Interviews in quarantine are so odd.
I know. But this literally doesn't sound legal at all, but somehow it is.
I know. I wonder what companies or people would even do something like this.
It just all seems so crazy. And I know that old lady Caddy said something about Congress trying to put provisions into the IRS. Maybe we should look those up.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Hey, wait, I think I might have found something.
Oh.
It looks like Congress is trying to put a stop to this after all, with stricter regulations. These include making companies expand their reporting requirements for certain foreign investments and accounts they might hold overseas. And they're also treating certain foreign corporations to be that are controlled mainly in the United States as domestic corporations for tax purposes. I think the point of these is that if these amendments pass, Congress will make corporations more transparent and therefore less likely to have to use tax havens.
Yeah, that makes sense that Congress is trying to make changes. It's just weird that not once in the 59-minute interview did she mention where the tax havens are located.
I know, it's really weird, but let's just change the channel.
You pick this time.
Welcome to Family Feud. Today we have two very special families. First, the FBI family and the IRS family.
Hello, hello, hello.
All right, so with it, we'll take our first two guests here. First, we'll send James from the FBI and Katie from the IRS. First question, what are popular tax haven locations? IRS.
The Cayman Islands.
See? It's the number one answer. Do you guys want to play or pass it?
We'll play.
All right, IRS family. Next one up, Katie number 2. Got the number one answer, Cayman Islands. Now it's up to you. Here we go again. What are popular tax havens?
I think I'm gonna go with Mexico.
I'm sorry, that is not an answer. That is strike one for your family.
I don't know how we messed that one up.
Go to Katie number 3. What is a popular tax haven?
I'm gonna say the Isle of Man.
That is correct. Answer number 3 on the board. Katie number 4. Man, your family really couldn't give up that name, could they? What is a popular tax haven? Katie number 4.
Let's go with Canada.
I'm not seeing it up on the board. That's going to be strike 2.
Darn.
Kate, wouldn't you know it? Katie number 5. For the love of God, I need to talk to your parents after this show. Katie number 5. You got 2 strikes. You got 4 more answers on the board. What is a popular tax haven?
Luxembourg?
That is correct. Answer number 4 on the board. Back to Katie number 1. I don't know what you got designated number 1 for, but hey, good job. Got a lot of competition in the family. I'm asking you again, what is a popular tax haven?
I feel like Australia might be a good one.
Strike 3, you're out.
Yes.
Throwing it to the FBI team, they can now steal. James number 2, it is your board.
I think we're gonna have to say Monaco. Monaco, yeah.
Monaco is correct. Number 6 answer on the board. You guys get all the points. Feel free to store them in Monaco. You'll probably get more value out of them. All right.
Ah. What a weird topic for Family Feud. And that didn't even look like Steve Harvey.
It's in. But I was looking on Google when he initially asked the question, because, I love to cheat on game shows, because I have to get the right answer.
Obviously.
But there's so many more areas that are tax havens.
Well, yeah, the point of the game is that they have to poll the people in the street, and then the first thing that comes to mind is the answer.
Well, yeah, I know that. But you're missing the point. There's, a lot of tax havens. And a lot of them are small island nations, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, that's, actually really interesting. But, we really have to move on from Family Feud. I can't watch it anymore. Maybe there's, some trashy reality TV show on or something.
Perfect.
I never lose sleep over a man who doesn't know how to read a basic financial statement.
Some people say in the life of the party, but we all have secrets.
What's a Ponzi scheme?
Cheers, loves.
Oh, so good getting together, isn't it?
Cheers.
Taylor, would you like an apple?
Well, actually, Ken, there's been something I've been wanting to talk to you about that's been bothering me.
Just one thing?
I just really don't understand how you can be friends with someone like that god-awful Tim Cook.
Taylor knows how Tim Cook is my best friend and how these tax haven scandals have affected both of us. It was just rude of her to bring up. Excuse me? Why do you feel that way?
I just don't know how you could stand by someone that's been scamming the US out of millions of dollars in taxes each year. It's just so morally wrong.
Gasp!
You know that's really rich of you, Taylor. You know, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
Okay, so yeah, maybe my best friend
Howard Schultz.
has done a slightly similar thing. But I mean, it happened a while ago, so I don't know why I can't get over it. I mean, this is Apple we're talking about.
Ladies, let's just try to behave. Let's not talk about taxes today. Let's just enjoy our meal and have a couple nice sassy beverages.
Maybe you should pay for it then, Ken, since your friend has about $250 billion offshore.
Well, maybe we should split then, Taylor, because your friend hasn't paid income taxes in, I don't know, about 3 years, and then only paid a portion when he fessed up.
It was 2012, get over it! It was in the UK. It's different.
Oh my god, have you guys had this fruit? It's amazing.
So maybe next brunch, we don't have sassy beverages.
You know, Ruth's only been drinking this much since her husband went to jail. Are companies really getting away with this?
Well, let's look it up. Get this. As of 2016, 73% of Fortune 500 companies are using tax havens or offshore accounts to avoid paying taxes worldwide.
Shut up. That's actually crazy. And you know, I googled this Tim Cook character they were talking about. It turns out he's the CEO of Apple. And get this. Looks like Apple was one of the biggest companies that had offshore accounts and tax havens in the Fortune 500. They had approximately $253 billion in offshore accounts, and none of them were being taxed. They got away with $78.5 billion and not paying US taxes. No wonder why Taylor was so upset.
Well, Ken had a point too, though. Kevin Johnson, the CEO of Starbucks, had similar issues because they didn't pay UK taxes from like 2009 to 2012, even though they were making a heck of a lot of profit. And it was totally legal. But Starbucks vowed to pay extra taxes to make up for their transgressions, and now they don't take the full amount of capital allowances they're entitled to make up for it.
I mean, that might make up for it, but
Maybe.
it's still pretty crazy.
Yeah.
You know, Katie, I think we've had enough TV for one day.
Yeah, you might be right.
I think, you know what we should do? We should go on a walk and visit our favorite professor.
Yeah, we should.
See you soon, Dyson!